greetings. I am Jhoana Alilin, ug ako ang inyong host for the 4th episode of #Climate Talks. So we already discussed na ang suits ng green spaces, and for this episode, we will be talking about renewable energy. That is why we have our expert sa renewable energy this afternoon. We have the director of Ateneo Center for Renewable Energy and Appropriate Technologies. We have Dr. Nelson Enano Jr. Thank you, sir,
Thank you very much, Jhoana, and thank you for this invitation to be here.
So, Sir Enano, what is a renewable energy, its types, and the positive changes and effects sa atong health and environment?
Okay, basically, renewable energy are energy conversion technologies that use the sources that is available in nature in which these resources are produced in consonance or in that is much in the production or in the consumption. So yung pag-produce ng resource at saka yung pag-consume ng electricity ay match sila. So for example, solar, wind, hydro, tidal energy, they are produced in a minute-second or hourly basis, no? And our electricity, we consume them in the same timing, no? Like in minutes, second, hour. While the fossil fuel is produced in millions of years, no? So your petroleum, your liter of petroleum or your tons of coals are produced in millions of years, while we just consume them in a very quick manner, and therefore there is no the issue on sustainability sa paggamit sa coal kay wala gyud, no?
Yes.
Kay yung sustainability ang karon nga panahon ang karon nga henerasyon makagamit sa unsay resource without I would say limiting the capacity of the future generation to use their resources. So when we use coal, therefore when we use it today, the future generation will have limited access to this resource. While solar, wind, tidal energy, biomass, there are sources of energy that is produced in an hourly less than basis.
So, renewable energy ba, sir? Napon siya yung mga types of
Yes.
renewable
So as mentioned, when we say solar, mo na pinakadakong renewable energy sa Philippines, no? Because we are in the tropics, so therefore solar energy, solar radiance are available there. There are two types of solar energy. The first one is solar photovoltaic, mo nang kanang sa solar panels, and the second one is solar concentrated power. So mo nang ginagamit ang heat sa adlaw, kaya adlaw na may radiance energy o kanang heat energy. So kanang concentrated solar, mao na siya ang ginagamit sa pag-capture sa heat energy. There are other kinds. Tidal energy is also very relevant for Mindanao or the Philippines being an archaeological country. So we have lots of sites in Mindanao, especially that we can use tidal energy. Biomass as well, being an agricultural island or region. So we have lots of waste, no, from the agricultural sector, and we can use those waste to produce energy actually as well.
So, in the current situation of Mindanao and Davao specifically, sir, so, kumusta ang ato ang situation sa renewable energy? Are we still reliant sa coal and diesel-powered plants?
Yes, we are. Davao City and basically the whole Mindanao and the Philippines electricity grid is heavily reliant on fossil fuel, mainly coal and diesel. So the Luzon grid also used the natural gas. But for Davao City, mainly it's from old power plants. So we have Dabawenyos thermal, South thermal coal power in Toril or that side, around 300 megawatt, and also in Malita. So there is that San Miguel coal power plant around 300 megawatt as well, and all these coal power plants is producing electricity for Davao City. And mainly, so we could say Davao City is like 90%, and even more from coal power plant. So, but Davao Light has embedded generation from hydro, and it is also accepting subscription to net metering for solar PV installation. So those households, those commercial and industrial consumers could put solar panels on their rooftop, and they can access that incentives from net metering. So, and Davao is very accepting on that the applications of this net metering. So there is a very good prospect for renewable energy in Davao City and in Enano because we have really a good source of solar energy. Only that we have to understand that solar energy is also an intermittent and variable energy resource, but there are already technical engineering solutions to that, especially on batteries and other forms of storage.
Okay, sir. So, according to Pag-asa 11 sa amo ang previous na program sa Ecopol namo, they mentioned that El Nino is present in the tropical Pacific and will persist until the first quarter of 2024. So, showing these signs for the coming months, how will this affect the renewable energy sources, particularly in hydropower and solar?
Okay, so El Nino is one of the climate impact of that enormous emission for carbon into the atmosphere, and an El Nino could definitely jeopardize the performance of hydropower plant because hydropower plant depends on the availability of water. So if there is large rate of what is that? Evaporation, large rate of evaporation, therefore the level of water will not be available in the dams and reservoir of hydropower plants. The same goes for solar actually, because solar, although it is dependent on the available solar energy, but intense heat could also reduce the efficiency of solar panels. So, because what the solar panels would like is just around 25 degrees to 27 to 28 degrees, but if it could arise to more than that, like 35 even to 40 degrees Celsius, that could reduce the performance of solar panels to produce electricity. So, so actually it's not a very good climate phenomenon, I mean in terms of its impact to these technologies, but we have that, no? So we can just like do something on the design of the solar panel, so maybe we can increase the size of the solar panels, while for hydropower plant, we can cover the reservoir or the dam with solar panels actually as well. It's a hybrid solar and hydro, so that the water in the reservoir would not evaporate that easily.
So thank you, sir. Karon, we talked about the El Nino effect, and we can feel already its effect. Grabe na kainit nowadays. So having said that, sir, what is your call to action to our city government of Davao and also the residents of Davao?
Okay, for the government, I have been advocating this, that if all the government agencies, government establishments put solar panels in their rooftop, that would be a big help to reduce our dependence on the coal power-based or the coal-based power plants. So we could have like from local government units, rooftops, barangay, municipio, city hall, elementary school, health centers, and many others. No? So there are so many of the government agencies, and maybe if they can really put solar, at least solar, no? Because all over the Philippines, Mindanao, Davao City, solar energy is available. For resident or the electricity consuming public, I would say that first we do conserve energy and we use energy efficient devices or appliances, and then we use renewable energy in our system. Although there is cost in renewable energy, like putting up your solar panel or maybe making a hydropower plant if it's a community, but there are already support that could assist in the establishment or in the setting up of this system from the government. And the Renewable Energy Act 2008 has lots of incentives in which we can access to, only that if it's available to all. I mean, it's really disseminated, the information is disseminated. But if we don't know about these incentives, then definitely we don't have access to these resources or funding.
So, pahabol lang ako ng question, sir. No? You mentioned na we have assistance sa ato ang renewable energy if we want to have solar sa ato ang mga households. No? So, asa po na pwede maduulan, sir,
Okay.
to know its incentives?
Right. So, well, I would say, in comparison to the incentives in other countries, medyo hindi masyadong marami, or hindi masyadong, or ano, I have to say, marami yung sa atin. But I know that Pag-ibig is supporting the installation of solar panels in every, if you have a housing and if you would like to have an add-on solar panel, they could also they have a scheme, a mechanism for solar panel. And also, I think Land Bank could, or EBP, so they also have how to say, like you could borrow money for this kind of if you'd like to have this facility in your home or in your commercial and industrial establishments. So, but that basically, but the others are like, if you already have net metering, if you are a residential electricity consumer and you have a solar panel on your rooftop, then the excess electricity you can sell to the grid, and that would be offset to your next bill. So therefore, in total, the cost of your electricity bill will be reduced. So aside from the one that you're producing, electricity, no, diretso minus sa yung kuryente na galing sa grid. But if you have excess electricity, because there are moments that the solar panels are producing electricity, but there is no utilization, especially at home, no? Because maybe nag-aaral or nasa labas na, or maybe even commercial establishments, no? So, and industrial establishments. There is definitely a time when there is a mismatch, no, in the availability of solar electricity and the consumption of this electricity. But this excess electricity can be sold to the grid, and the grid would buy your solar electricity through net metering program. So the grid acts as a storage, no? Because you have electricity and you put that to the grid, and the grid accepts that through net metering program.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering all of my questions. No? So I think that's all for the 4th episode of #ClimateTalks. Once again, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.